I think one of my biggest challenges was feeling that I am young and people would underestimate me and not take me seriously.
So welcome back to the Confident Alchemist podcast, where bold women take brave leaps to start their business that they deserve. Today is going to be bold but different. Today we're going to have a guest speaker who never entered the corporate world but started her business from a young age. Today we're going to speak to Kayla Wagg, a 23-year-old co-founder of a successful media agency. So from going from fear into confidence, she's showing up in her own business with a bold, brave leap that she took at such a young age. So if you are starting out or starting over, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of good things from Kayla Wagg's story. So if you are ready, let's dive in.
First of all, Debbie, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It's an absolute honor. I've watched your journey as well, and being part of your marketing team and watching you grow as a person as well has been such an honor for me as well.
Thank you. You never actually went into the corporate path, and you started entrepreneurship from a young age. So what led you to actually co-found a marketing agency at such a young age?
Since I was young, I always knew that I wanted to make a difference, and I want to start something where I can give people the opportunity to really do what they love. So I had the opportunity to work with a team that empowered women and empowered people in the rural areas to start their own business.
Oh, nice.
And just to see the hope it gave those people, I was just like, this is what I want to do. I want to give people the opportunity to build something of their own. And that's why I actually started thinking of, how can I do this? How can I start my own business? And one day I woke up and I got a brand name. Didn't know what I was going to do with it. At that time, I was doing marketing on the sideline. I was actually studying education, and I started doing marketing as a freelancer, did some jobs for brands and for business owners. And then I got the name Salty Socials, which is also referenced from the Bible verse, you are the salt of the earth. Oh. I think in South Africa, we have a stigma that creativity, there's no space for it. You can't do that full time. There's not a lot of opportunities for people to step into the creative area and do that full time. And I told my husband, this is what I want to give, is give people the opportunity to do photography, to do videography, to do design work, and actually do that full time. And that's why I started Salty Socials.
Oh, you've got a beautiful journey. So what's been the biggest fears or mindset blocks that you had to overcome in this entrepreneurship, especially in a world that equates age with inexperience?
I think one of my biggest challenges was feeling that I am young and people would underestimate me and not take me seriously. And then a second thing was definitely imposter syndrome, feeling that I'm not capable, especially with my experience. I may have the skill, I may have the knowledge, but maybe not enough experience. In the world we live in, we know that experience counts.
Yes, definitely.
So weirdly enough, I stepped into a marketing meeting one time, and it was one where I need to pitch my services. And I walked in there, and it was a room filled with men and older women. And I think there were like 10 men and like 3 women in there, but it was so intimidating. And at that time, I was 21 years old, and I stepped in, and it didn't feel like I can pitch my proposal to them. It felt more like a interrogation of, why are you here? What are you doing? Why is it this price? What is the value you'd bring? And all of those questions left me feeling like, shucks, am I actually capable? Am I adding value? Not only to them, but to my clients as well. And I walked out there and I got into the car and I told my husband, I never want to do this ever again. This was horrible. I was alone in there. And afterwards, I saw a group of people. That was the second pitch they got that day. It was a guy, 2 girls walking in there, and they walked in with utter confidence. It was like it radiates. And I just walked away there and I was like, this wasn't my best interview or proposal, but I learned so much out of it. Just to know that when I walk in and I feel so intimidated, I can actually feed off their energy and put it into something that I can just be like, I am valuable. I have something to give. And for that reason, I'm here to present my proposal. Take it or leave it. I don't feel undervalued because you don't value me.
Beautiful story. But you never waited for permission to start your dream. So what gave you that confidence when the world around you told you you are not ready?
I think my faith has always been the fuel behind every decision I make. I've held onto the beliefs that God placed a dream in my heart and therefore He will provide. I always say that when you get to a choice, when you get to a decision, it's not always about the decision you make. You have to have the faith that I'm stepping into something that God put in my heart, and therefore I will put my trust in Him. And that is definitely something in every meeting, in every decision, everything I walk into, I just tell myself that God gave me this opportunity. He is going to make me capable.
Beautiful mindset to have, yeah. Because I also know that without faith, you're going to make decisions, but you have to have that inner confidence in yourself, and not just faith in God, but also faith in yourself,
Yes.
and faith in your abilities that you can do this. So Kayla, you work with a lot of entrepreneurs in your agency. So what do you think people are sometimes underestimating when they are building a brand?
Something I see all of the time is people feel that they have to be ready and everything has to be planned out and perfect before they start. Perfect branding, perfect gear, perfect strategy, perfect timeline. But what truly builds a brand is consistency and connection. Research is key too. You still have to have the knowledge, you still have to have the skill, but at the end of the day, you build the skill as soon as you step into what you do. And also the experience. You won't have experience before. And I think also when it feels like you don't know what to do, get counsel, get a mentor. I know a lot of entrepreneurs don't have mentors and they walk into and that's something they promote. They never had a mentor. But if you truly don't know what to do, if you have questions, ask the people around you. Go find someone you look up to and ask them, how did you do this? At the end of the day, they will not condemn you. The person who asks the most questions gets ahead.
Yeah. Now, I truly believe that. And I also tell people, in the beginning, I also didn't have a coach. And I know that I would have been so much further in my entrepreneurship if I actually just listened to my gut and actually got a coach that time when I decided to take this brave leap. So it's important to understand that we don't have to do this on our own.
Yeah.
There are mentors, there are coaches out there who can actually help us on this journey.
Even in your environment.
Yes.
Look at how your CEO, your boss, is doing it. How she takes that call. How she gets leads. Follow in her path because that is how you will get to where she is as well.
Yeah. You need to take the first step. You don't have to be ready, but you need to take that first step. And you say that is how our skills are built. And that's the thing with confidence. Everybody tells me that I don't have the confidence to do it. But confidence only starts when you actually start taking that first leap. It's like a muscle that you build. You're never going to start out with 100% confidence. Even for me today in this job, there's always another level of confidence that you can build. But you just have to start. If you're not going to start, you're not going to grow. So Kayla, if you could give one piece of advice to somebody who's in their 30s, 40s or 50s who wants to start the entrepreneurial journey, what would that be?
I think the number one thing to realize is that there are people less skilled, less qualified than you, doing exactly what you want to do, and they are thriving.
Yes.
So if you won't do it, someone else is going to do it. I always say, if you have an idea for a new invention, maybe you want to make a car run on water, there's already someone busy with that invention. So if you don't act now, you'll never do it, and someone else is going to do that. So if not now, when? As you always say, Debbie, if not now, when? Don't wait for 10 years to pass by if you're already in your 30s. If you are waiting for 10 years, you're going to be in your 40s. And then you have 10 years missed that you could have used, not only being successful, but building the skill to do what you want to do. So then you missed 10 years already. So if I can leave something with them today, is start now. Don't waste any more time, because if you are not going to do it, someone else is going to.
Yeah, that's very valuable advice. And like you said, if not now, when? So rather start today, start getting out that plan. I'm sure if you are listening to this, you already have the idea. I always say people are drawn to podcasts or information because they already have this pull inside of them. They have this knowing that they are meant for more. So listen to your gut and just start. Start doing the research, start getting the ideas, start seeing how. But you have to start.
Yeah.
Kayla, thank you for showing us what is possible when you stop doubting, when you start building, even at the age that you are currently at. We really appreciate it, and I'm telling you, even for me, being part of my team, you are really inspiring. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. And I know that this podcast and everything you are starting now is really going to mean so much to so many women, as you already do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So
if you are listening right now and you keep on telling yourself that you are not ready or you are too late, this is your sign. You are not too late, you are ready to take this brave leap. But like I always say, you don't have to do this on your own. Now for me, that's why I created the Brave Leap course, is to take my 5 years of experience, actually my 30 years of experience, that's going to help you first of all with mindset, to get the right mindset, to find your purpose, your calling, and to give you the business strategy to start your own thing. So if this is for you, please sign up for our free community. It's called the Confident Alchemist. Alchemist is women who start. So sign up for my free community and you will get the support of other strong, bold women who are ready to take this brave leap. So if this episode resonated with you, please join us next week for more bold stories, truth, and transformation.